Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're here with the idea of putting an irrigation system for your flower bed or even a garden or anywhere that you water on a normal basis. But as I was designing mine and I got all these parts and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so overwhelming of all the different pieces, whether it be stakes or fittings for in the pipes. What size pipe do you use? Use big thick 1/2-inch pipe like this, or do you use a little 1/4-inch pipe like this? Well, you're at the right place because I'm going to show you how I did mine, and it's not as hard as you might think. Designing a system for yourself can be quite intimidating or downright frustrating, but it's not as hard as it might seem. So let's come on in. I'll show you exactly how easy it is to put this system together for you. Like I introduced at the beginning of the video, I'm going to put all those individuals pieces in the description below, and then there's a few tools you need, and I'll have them down there as well. We'll be going through my mind whenever I was designing this, and then what I'm going to do is in the fall, after we had a full season of watering my flowers and everything, I'm going to do a follow-up video to show exactly what was successful and what was not. So you'll want to make sure you subscribe if you're interested in that. If you don't mind hitting that notification bell, that way you don't miss out on that. Let's get into all the details and the nitty-gritty of putting a system together. This basically is how my flower beds are laid out in front of my house. Have an idea what you're working with. And you want to start out with a larger piece of tubing. You could do the whole thing in small tubing. You can't go more than 40, 50, 60 feet with the smaller 1/4-inch stuff. But the larger stuff, 1/2-inch, I went with that because you can go up to 200 feet. You can see the best way to work with poly tubing. You can see I laid it out here in the sun. The sun actually heats it up a little bit. It makes it easy to apply. And you might be asking the question, why would I choose Raindrip? Why not some of the other brands? Some of the components of the different brands may be cheaper, just kind of mix and match. Well, I'm here to let you know that one thing I did learn through the research and design in you don't want to mix and match because then you can create leaks. My basis to why I decided to go with Raindrip was I understand the Raindrip poly is a little bit more easier to apply and it's easier to work with. Basically, I lay out the line. Each piece, depending on where it is, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So we start out with one of these. Of course, whenever you need to hook it up here, you might be asking, why one of these? Why not eliminate that? But the reason is, when you have your control module hooked up here, then you can unhook it every time to use the spigot if you want to use it for something else, such as wash your car or what have you. If we take one of these and we put it on here, then we're able to hook this right here like this, and then you still have this side to be able to use because this is a shut off. And then of course, like I said before, I'll put this in the description below to where you can find that. It's pretty inexpensive. So I don't know if you remember the video, if you have some of these outside spigots like this, sometimes the insides go bad, the washers go bad in them. So I'll put it up on the corner here, that video, if you are interested in how to fix that if you have water leaking out of here. But now that we got this splitter on here, then we want to take our Raindrip. Make sure you put your batteries and stuff in there. I have a video for how to program and how to operate this and get it all up to speed here. Be at the end of this video. You can look for. But anyhow, you want to connect it right here. A little difficult doing with holding my phone in my other hand. We were able to get it like that. Make sure it's a little snug. You might, in your area, might have code that requires you to put in a one-directional flow for the water. I'm not going to put that in this case, so be mindful for that. And then next we'll take one of these little gadgets, has a little screen in there. We'll put one of these on the hose and then connect it right here. And this is fairly easy. You just twist and take this end off of it and take this end, push it down inside that tubing. We got to push down on there and I bet you can't guess what I just did. You probably have done it yourself. I forgot to put this on first. So now what I need to do is take a knife, cut this across like this, and then cut the end of it off. So what I did is I cut poly off. Another thing is make sure, see this is directional. If you put this on this way, the threads won't line up. So make sure you put it on this way, take it over, slide it down here, and then go ahead and push that on. Run that up against, and then go ahead and connect it. Run the poly over, put a 90 there, and I'm gonna run it down along here and where both of these are gonna meet up. So basically I'm gonna put this 90 right here, so it'll come across here and over this way. So it's real easy to use these little 90s because they're just basically compression fit. In case you're in an area or maybe it's a little colder right at the moment when you're installing your system, you can take and dip the end of these hoses into hot water. It might make it a little bit easier to apply, but these are pretty soft laying out in the sun. And you basically just kind of push that together. Looks like that. I'll get the other end of the hose and push it in there. You don't have to push it the whole way completely in. And then you can see how that works. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this down along here and tuck it in down in the grass like that, and then when I put mulch, I'll put mulch over top and then continue out through here. So I got the line run to there, to this elbow. I'm going to come up right through the center here, and then what I want to do at this end is put this little figure 8, they call it, in here. So how that works is you run this in and you crimp that, and then slide this over here like this. And what that does is pinches off the water flow. Now you can put a stopper in the end, but that costs a lot more money. I think this works out pretty nice. Basically, you can see where I run the hose. It's coming off the house right here, and then I'm going to tee it right here, and then put one of those figure 8s to crimp off the end of that hose. So how do we do it then? I got to put this T right here. That way we can hook into it. I use this handy dandy tool that you already learned how to use, and it makes it a little bit hard to hold my phone and cut it. So it's like the 90 I put together. Push it together like that. Takes a little effort. And then put this one in here like this, and then the other one here like this. Now you have to be careful not to do that because that could damage it. It's in there good like that. So we got that fitting in right there. Now out here on this end, you have to be careful not to get dirt in here. And just like I showed you before, we'll crimp this over, slide that over there like that. So now that we got the line running, we want to run feeders. Now one thing to note is to try to run your 1/2 inch line, your main line, your street into the development, so to speak, is run that down through the center. And then you run your feeders off to it to each flower. And so you want to kind of measure, and then we'll just go ahead and cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so of these. Show you how to connect. We use this little handy dandy tool that you guys learn how to use. Cut one right here. So basically we got the 1/2 inch tubing here, and we got 1/4 inch tubing. We got to connect them. So how do we do that? Back to our tool that we learned how to use earlier. On this end here, as you already know, we'll take and you want to turn the hose up a little bit because you want it coming out the side. So turn it up a little bit. Punch 2 holes in there. Because one line here is going to go out front, and this one's going to go here. We got these little connectors like this. Put it in there, Press it in there. Put one in. Two in. And like I explained before, if it's a little cold, you can dip this in hot water. Push them right on there. And let me show you up close what it looks like. You'll just push that right over there up to, it don't have to go the whole way against that flat edge, but that's basically what I was doing. This little thing here, a little sprayer, we take the other end of the hose and push it over this barb. And so we'll push that on there. Pull the camera over here so we can see it better. And then we'll push those down into the mulch like that. Since I won't have to run any 1/4-inch tubing, I'm just going to put this little simple head right here, which is right in the middle. I'll take this and I'll do my little hole, see what that looks like. And then I'll press this in here like this. You gonna see it? So we can turn this out to give it more water. Turn this in. Now I'll show you how. So I got this teed out to here, all the runners across here, come up to this corner, come out to here, and then we'll head out to this way. Then over here I'll run a runner over to catch these two, put a nozzle right there, and then I'll just run maybe 3 or 4 out there. Okay, there's the nozzle, and I tucked this all under the ground. See, I dug a little ditch here. So I put the little mulch over top. And cover that up. I gotta dig this up a little bit here. This will go down underneath. That way you only see the nozzle. Now I'm gonna put a layer of fresh mulch over top of all this. Also, if you're struggling at getting the polytubing to stay in its place, you can get some of the stakes. Now you can use any kind of stake, but these particular ones, I like them because they're looped on top. So I'll show you how I went ahead and put those in. So here's an area, you can kind of see how it's popping up. We can kind of put these in. And they're only 6 inches long or so. And you put those every so often, and that can help hold the tubing down in its place. Like over here, not there, but right here, see how that's popping up. Or you can use a rubber mallet if your soil's a little bit harder than ours. An overview of what we got done so far. Over there in the corner, I run the hose out, teed it off to run that way and hit those couple plants, run it this way, run some 1/4-inch line off with sprayers on the ends for those couple flowers, come across the sidewalk in front of the porch, 90-degreed it this way, teed it off to run out this way, and you can see where I stuck some of it underground. I'm going to go ahead and channel this out. Then I teed it off for this row that's going up along here. So when I teed it off there, I come up, did a 90-degree here, embedded it down into the yard, come up across to this area here in front of the house, between the sidewalk and the yard. And then I stuck another one of those nozzles there, which will take care of this flower and that flower. Then I kind of went teed off here, or not teed off, but stuck one of those connectors here, and then run a 1/4-inch out to those two flowers, run a short one to these two, back there in the corner into the center of that bush, and we figure 8 at the end. Brought a nozzle to this flower and over to that one and that one. Now we pretty much got everything done. Now mind ya, I'm going to do some other zones around the house. I won't go through all that. This particular section here, come to the end. You've seen how each step of the way works. Next question is, you got it. Is it going to work? Let's go over here and turn the spigot on. So let's check it out and see if I have any leaks that I have to fix. See how it all works. All right, we're going to go over here and turn the spigot on. Hear the water coming in. That one's spraying. This one's starting to spray. Now I'll probably want to open these up some more so it's a little more, whoops. That's what happens whenever you take the top off. So things look pretty good. Sprayers are going, and then these are adjustable. You can open these up and let them spray out further as the plants get bigger. That's probably what I'll do. Or I can just turn them down if I'm getting a little bit too much water. That way I can adjust it to getting a small amount. Will it be just a little trickle, or if a little bit higher like that? And what the flowers will do, they'll root over to that. And then up here for these kind, we can open these up as well and let the water spray out as well. Now I did get a different type of nozzle, which is this one if you want a little more spray. So it's however, whatever preference you like, whether you like a spray like that or if you like a spray like this one. As you see, there's one change I think I'm gonna make. I was trying to be cheap and just go in the middle. This one may be okay because water's coming over to here. And if I turn this, have a little bit more coming out, that might be okay, but I notice there's a lot of water that's going here where it's not necessary. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick this up out and move it over here and then just run another feeder over to this flower. So all in all, another successful project completed. If you saw this information in this video helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up on your way out and subscribe on some other videos I'm going to be posting on some other repairs, and maybe even this fall I'm going to post one of what changes and what I've learned through the system, basically a review of how it worked out. So you don't want to miss that. So until the next time, have a great day.